Yo, what's going on, people? Guns blazing back at it again. First of all, I did receive everyone's comments on the last video saying they are interested in a state of Duel Links video and what's wrong with Duel Links. So I definitely will be making a video on it. But for today, the new Yami-Marik seal came out, Power of the Tributed, which makes your Winged Dragon of Ra gain the attack and defense of all three monsters that were tributed for it. This means that we no longer have to use Ra's first effect to boost its attack up, meaning we can save our life points for the second Ra effect to destroy monsters on the board. Now obviously this doesn't make Winged Dragon of Ra competitive, but it does make it a little more viable. It does give it a little kick, but honestly it's still just a for fun kind of thing. Now if you don't have the skill and you're wondering how to unlock it, you have to beat level 50 Marik, which shows up on the map once you reach 1 million points in the event. And that will put the skill in your reward box, as well as unlock the Winged Dragon of Ra if you don't already have it. Now if you need a quick way to reach 1 million points, then I do have a free to play level 40 Marik farming deck that I made months ago. Still works, and that's what I use to farm level 40 Marik to get 1 million points. Link will be in the description below. As for beating level 50 Marik, he's easy, but I do suggest you bring a deck that packs 3 econs so you can steal his Ra, attack for game, and that not only allows you to beat him easily and quickly, but it also unlocks the Ra card sleeves because there is a quest where you have to finish off an opponent using Winged Dragon of Ra. Anyways, I got 2 different decks to show using this skill. I got all kinds of diseases while hitting up PvP just to get these replays for you, but it was worth it. So let's get right into them. First up, we got that Turbo Wallet Ra, and this one's good if you want to get your Ra out ASAP, because there is a quest that involves just summoning it. So here you got the Disciple Double Summon Ra combo, along with a buttload of card draw and magical mallets to ensure that you pick them up. So here, before I do anything else, I make sure to summon a Ra's Disciple to pull out the other 2 Disciples from the deck. You don't want to be drawing into those, especially when you can just pull them from the deck. Then we win the Heart of the Cards lottery here. Dark World Dealings picks up Snow, and that allows us to pick up another Snow, which we can use with our other Dark World Dealings. So I'm going balls deep on turn 1, and the next Dark World Dealings happens to pick up a magical mallet, but I'm going to use Dark World Dealings first, just in case I pick up Double Summon, and I won't need the mallet. And turns out I do pick it up, so I can summon Ra this turn. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is a Winged Dragon of Ra on turn 1 in glorious 60 frames per second. There is a little glitch with the replay here, and I will talk about it in a second once it shows up. So yeah, I get the Winged Dragon of Ra out, the skill pops. It has 3300 attack, but there's a visual glitch that's saying it only has 1800. And 1800 should be its defense right now, because that's the added total of the Ra's Disciples defense. And 3300 is the combined attack of them. So as you can see, that does 3300 to his nutsack, proving that it was 3300 attack. Now, since he's boosted up with the skill, I don't have to use my life points to boost Winged Dragon of Ra itself, meaning I'm free to use all of my life points to destroy any monsters he puts on the board using Ra's second effect. So that prevents Deep Diver from getting a pull. Who knows, he could have double summoned into his own Winged Dragon of Ra this turn, and that was potentially prevented. And here I just pop off twice with Winged Dragon of Ra's effect. No more life points to destroy the third one, but that's okay. Just attack with the Snow. And then 3300 to the mouth. Literally farmed this guy for like 7,000 points because of the 1,000 Divine Monster Summon points. Next up, we got a somewhat scummier version, Cyber Angels Ra. And the idea behind this deck is that it also has everything needed in a successful Ra deck. It can flood the board with monsters, which you can then attribute for your Winged Dragon of Ra. And it's going to have hella attack points because Cyber Angels do have decent attack. And on top of that, it has a lot of searching and card draw, since you can use Saphira's effect to draw cards, allowing you to draw into your Winged Dragon of Ra ASAP. Now, there is a double summon in this list here, but I don't really recommend it. I suggest replacing it with a Cyber Petite Angel. I think that would put in a lot more work. Now, because our goal is to get the Winged Dragon of Ra out, I'm using Saphira specifically to just draw 2 cards, discard 1. I never use it to discard my opponent's card because that's not my goal. As a matter of fact, I'm so desperate for this Ra summon that I'm playing with my food here. Like, I had so many opportunities to lethal this guy, but I chose not to because I had to get some hands on some dank replays. So, you know, I'm playing around with him a little bit. I'm just making sure I don't scare him too hard, or else he's going to concede. You know, with the new concede button on your opponent's turn, it's a lot more likely now that your opponent's going to concede before you pull off the play that you want to pull off. And I'll be talking about that more in a little bit, but here again, I'm using draw 2, discard 1 from Saphira. This guy gets his triple Ra's Disciple out. That's what he reached down deep for with a Deep Diver, but that's okay because he doesn't have double summon Ra available. I pulled the sacred chicken sandwich using my Saphira last turn, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that out. Once again, my boys, the replay is visually bugged. 5,400 is Winged Dragon of Ra's defense right now. That's a combined of all the monsters I attributed defense. I think it had 5,500 attack exactly. Anyways, just gonna hit you with that Satisfaction. I'm able to clear all of his monsters using my Winged Dragon of Ra's effect. And on top of that, I have Dakenai with Absolute Ritual in the back pocket. But this Bomba Cloud over here scoops, so I can't get the 8,000 point PvP farm, unfortunately. Anyways, on to the next one. I just tossed this one in there because it was the animal play of the day. Like, this guy's raw deck was not working out at all. Like, if you want an example of a raw deck to not build, then this guy's Destiny Draw Winged Dragon of Raw deck is a perfect example because it's just not well thought out, you know? Anyways, a basic plays from me getting my Saphira out and using draw 2, discard 1. No Winged Dragon of Ra. Pull that Benton. Unfortunately, I can no longer summon unless I sack my Saphira because Sprite's Blessing requires exact stars to be tributed. Get him down all the way to 100. This guy powerful rebirths his Spherabola and gets 2 Trap Mons out. Tributes them for his Winged Dragon of Ra, which he pulled with his Destiny Draw. But because this boy has no healing whatsoever, like, what are you even going to do from there, my boy? What is this nonsense? Anyways, we'll give him props for his honorable Sudoku. Moving on to the next replay. Alright, so here I'm opening off with a hand I do not understand, but if I'm going to pull one monster, it's going to be my Edatin, so I can run a Benton Edatin play, possibly next turn. This guy gets his Ra's Disciples out, ready to go. No double summon into Winged Dragon yet, though. But what this guy does is he double summon reloads, probably trying to get the Winged Dragon of Ra on the reload, but you can set your double summon and do that exact same play with no risk. But anyways, he does not pull his Winged Dragon of Ra. He just sets one card face down and I pick up that Benton, which is perfect because now I can do Edatin Benton and pull out a monster as well as a ritual spell from my deck. So now I can go ahead and pick up my Senju and get my third monster onto the board so that I can summon my Winged Dragon of Ra as soon as I draw him. Get my Saphira out so I can get that draw 2, discard 1, get it boosted 2. Once again, I'm playing with my food here. I could have cleared his board, but I know he's going to concede if I do that, and then no Winged Dragon of Ra. Danko Beast play. Again, glitch replay. I already said that like 2 times, so I'm not going to bother explaining again. I still have 4,000 life points thanks to the skill, so I'm going to use Winged Dragon of Ra's effect to pop off 3 times in a row, but he scoops after the second one, which again cucks me because I get less dual assessment points. So let's talk about that while my opponent here is playing pretty much the most innovative, interactive, and manly deck of all time. So when conceding on your opponent's turn first came out, I liked it because you didn't have to waste your time anymore watching your opponent take too long to complete their move when they already had lethal or they're just BMing you instead of finishing you off. Now you have an option to, you know, not just close the app and re-enter to get into a new duel fast. That, I believe, was the purpose of including this option to concede on your opponent's turn. So it's very convenient for the person that's conceding, for sure. But the problem here is it actually negatively impacts the player on the winning side because most of the time they're going to get less dual assessment points since they didn't get their finishing move off. Who knows, they could have had a monster with more than 3,000 attack, and that does give you more dual assessment points, and that could mean the difference between picking up a new skill for your character. And it could also prevent the player from completing a quest. But above everything else, I think the most important thing the winning player misses out on is the satisfaction of giving your opponent the finishing blow, which is a big deal to some players. I think Konami can fix this by allowing the non-conceding player to stay in the duel to complete their turn after the conceding player has already left the room. Obviously, all activation prompts on the conceding player's end will be turned off because they're not there anymore. And it will still count as a victory for the non-conceding player even if they suicide into the conceding player's stuff during that turn. So that way it's a win-win. The conceding player gets to leave early, but the winning player still gets the satisfaction. But that's just my suggestion. Have yourselves a good one. And this is Gunsblazing, signing out.
I think I lie for you. I think I die for you. Jodeci cry for you. Do things when you want me to. controller, control.